13 June 2022. Morning Murli. Om Shanti. BapDada. Madhuban. Sweet children, the school is for becoming Narayan from an ordinary man. The one who is teaching you is the true Father, the true teacher, and the true Sadguru himself. Your faith in this has to remain firm. Question: what should your children never have the slightest worry about and why? Answer: if, while following this path, someone has heart failure and leaves his body, you should not worry because you know that each one has to perform his own act. You should be happy because you know that the soul has taken the sanskars of knowledge and yoga with him, and so he will now serve Bharat even better. There is no question of worrying. It was destined in the drama. Song: You are the mother and you are the father. Om Shanti. The father explains to you children. You children know that the father calls you children and BapDada are combined. First is BapDada and then come the children. This becomes the new creation. The Father is teaching Raj Yoga. He is teaching us Raj Yoga exactly as he did 5000 years ago. Later, on the path of devotion, they make a book based on this and call it the Gita. However, at this time, it is not a question of the Gita. They made that scripture later on and call it the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the scripture of easy Raj Yoga. There cannot be any benefit in reading the scriptures of the path of devotion, nor can you receive the inheritance just by remembering shivbaba. The inheritance can only be claimed now. At the confluence age, the Father is the one who gives the unlimited inheritance, and he would only give it at the confluence age. The Father teaches Raj Yoga. There is the difference of day and night between what the one teaches and what the sages and holy men, etc., teach. They have the Gita in their intellect. They believe that Krishna spoke the Gita and Vyas wrote it down. However, Krishna did not speak the Gita, for it was not his time, and so the form of Krishna could not exist then. The Father explains and makes everything clear. He says, now judge for yourselves. His name is famous. Only the one who tells the truth can change an ordinary human into Narayan. You children know we are sitting in the school and sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra in order to change from an ordinary human into Narayan. The name shivbaba is good. There is definitely both the Father and Dada. You have come here with this faith. The Father explains the essence of all the Vedas and scriptures through Brahma and also says, I am making you Trikaldarshi, knowers of the three aspects of time. It is not that you became Trilokinath, means masters of the three worlds. No, you only became the masters of the home of Shiv, and that is not called the world. This world is the only place where humans reside, and this is the human world, the living world, whereas that is the incorporeal world. You are just given the knowledge of the three worlds, but He does not make you the masters of the three worlds. You have received the knowledge of the three worlds, and this is why you are called Trikaldarshi and seers of the three worlds. Even Lakshmi and Narayan cannot be called the masters of the three worlds. Vishnu cannot be called the master of the three worlds, either because he does not even have knowledge of the three worlds. Lakshmi and Narayan, who are Radhe and Krishna in their childhood, do not have the knowledge of the three worlds. You have to become Trikaldarshi and take knowledge. They say Krishna was the master of the three worlds, but that was not so. The master of the three worlds would be one who rules the three worlds. He only becomes the master of Vaikunt, means heaven. The golden age is called Vaikunt. The silver age cannot be called Vaikunt. I, Shiv, cannot become the master of this world. Shivbaba is only the master of Brahma, the supreme element. He is only the master of Brahman, where we souls stay in oval forms. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar reside in the subtle region, and so you would call them the masters of the three places, whereas you became the masters of Vaikunt. One is a matter of the subtle region, and the other a matter of incorporeal world. Only you are able to become Trikaldarshi. Your third eyes are open. They show a third eye in the center of the forehead. This is why they say Trinetri, means one with three eyes. They show the deities with this symbol, but it is when you become Karmati that you become those with three eyes. That refers to this time. The deities do not blow the conch shell of knowledge. They have shown a physical conch shell symbolizes the mouth. You blow the conch of knowledge through it. You are studying knowledge just as they study knowledge in a big university. This is the Godfatherly University of the Purifier. You are students of such a big university, and together with that, you also know our Baba is our father, our teacher, and our Sadguru too. He is everything. The mother and father give you happiness in every situation. This is why it is said, you are the mother and you are the father. That one is the saccharine, very sweet. There cannot be anyone as sweet as the deities. You children know that Bharat was very happy, ever healthy, and ever wealthy. It was completely pure. It is also said, voiceless Bharat. However, you cannot say this anymore. You would now say it is vicious and impure. The Father explains and makes everything so simple. You know the Father and the inheritance. Baba makes you so sweet. You also feel you have to study and teach others according to Srimad. This is your only business because apart from this, there is a lot of suffering for the actions of your many births. If someone falls ill and has heart failure the next day, then just consider it to be destined in the drama. Maybe the soul has to play a different part now. So there is no question of sorrow. The drama is fixed. He has to play another part. What is there to worry about? He will serve Bharat even better because he has taken such a sanskars of bringing benefit to others. So you should be happy. It is explained that even if your mother dies, you should eat halwa. A great deal of understanding is needed in this. You know, we are actors. Such one has to act in his own way. This is fixed in the drama. You have to leave one body and play another part. Whatever sanskars you take from here, you will serve there in an incognito way. The sanskars remain in souls. Respect is given to important, serviceable children. Only you children are those who do service and bring benefit to Bharat. All the rest continue to cause a loss. They make Bharat impure. For instance, when a first class sannyasi is about to leave his body, he would just sit down in the belief that he will leave his body and merge into the Brahma element. In that case, he would not be able to bring benefit to anyone because he is not a child of the benefactor father. You are children of the benefactor, so you do not cause a loss for anyone. You would depart for the sake of bringing benefit. This is an impure world. The Father has issued an ordinance. We do not need discretion that has been created by enlightening in vice. It is Tamapradhan. For half a cycle, you have been causing each other sorrow by using the sword of lust. It is the five evil spirits of Ravan that cause you sorrow. So, these are your greatest enemies. There wasn't a place such as Golden Lanka, etc. They have just made up those stories. The Father says this is a matter of the unlimited. The entire human world is at this moment bound by the chains of Ravan. They have shown a good picture in the magazine. Everyone is in the cage of Ravan. Everyone is in the cottage of sorrow. There is no cottage free from sorrow. There is no Ashoka means free from sorrow. Hotel. All are hotels of sorrow. They perform such dirty actions. You should know who are clean and who are dirty. You are now becoming flowers. Your children understand how long the part is that is recorded in the soul. These are very wonderful points. This tiny soul is filled with an imperishable part of 84 births. They also say we are impure and tampradhan. It is now the end. There is bloodshed without cause. So many die through one bomb. You know, this is the old world and it will not remain. This is an old world and these are old bodies. And we now have to go to the new world and take new bodies. This is why we are making effort on the basis of Srimad. Definitely, all of these children are his helpers. By following the Srimad of Sri Sri, we are becoming Sri Lakshmi and Sri Narayan. You would not call a vice president a president. That is not possible. How could God incarnate in pebbles and stones? It is remembered that he said, at the time of extreme irreligiousness, I come. I have to come at the end of the Iron Age when you have become completely impure. You children now have to remember me, your father. Baba asks, you are able to remember Baba. You reply, Baba, we forget you again and again. Why? You never forget your worldly father. However, this is a completely new aspect. The father is incorporeal, a dot. You haven't developed this practice yet. They say, we have never heard of this before, and we did not remember him in that way. Even the deities do not have this knowledge because it disappears completely. They cannot be called spinners of the discus of self realization. Either, although it is said that the dual form of Vishnu becomes Lakshmi and Narayan. To symbolize a family life, they show two forms Brahma and Saraswati, Shankar and Parvati, Lakshmi and Narayan. Only the one is the highest on high. Then there are the second and the third. The Father now says, children, forget your bodies and all the body religions and consider yourselves to be souls. I, a soul, am a child of the Father. I am not a sannyasi. Remember the Father and forget the religions of the body. It is very easy. We are now sitting with the Father. Baba sits here and explains through Brahma. Bab and Dada are combined, just as they show twins being born together. So this is also the part of two together. It has been explained to you, children. Your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. If at a moment of death Your intellect wanders somewhere, you will have to take birth there. If, at the moment of death, you see the face of your husband, your intellect goes there. Whatever is in your consciousness during your final moments has a great influence. If at that moment they have the awareness that they want to become a child like Krishna, then don't even ask. They would then take birth as a very beautiful child. Now you only have to keep one intoxication for the final moments. What are you doing at this moment? You know, you are remembering shivbaba. Everyone has visions. The ones with the peacock feathers, crowns, are Radhe and Krishna. For there will be prince and princesses. But when in the golden age or in the silver age, this depends on your efforts. You will receive a high status depending on how much effort you make. You say, we will claim a kingdom for 21 birds. If Mama and Baba claim it, why should we not follow them? You have to imbibe knowledge yourselves and then enable others to imbibe it. You have to do this much service, and you will then be able to claim a reward for 21 birds. Those who do not make effort well in school claim fewer marks. You gain victory over Maya, defeat vices. Your war is not violent. If they did not show Ram with his symbols, how could you differentiate between those of the Sun dynasty and those of the Moon dynasty? The father says, to whatever extent you make effort, so your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. You should never even have any thought about your body. You have to forget everything. The father says, you came bodiless and you have to return bodiless. You are such a tiny dot listening through these ears and speaking through the mouth. I, the soul, leave one body and enter another. Now, we souls are to go back home. Baba decorates us so well that we become deities from human beings. You know that by remembering Shivbaba, we became like them. It is also mentioned in the Gita, remember me and the inheritance, and you will become the masters of heaven. This is absolutely easy. You also understand, truly, we claim the inheritance from you through Brahma, cycle after cycle. It is also sung, establishment of the deity religion took place through Brahma. By failing, you go into the silver age, the warrior religion. Through Brahma, there is establishment of three religions, the Brahmin, the deity, and the warrior. In the golden age, there is no other religion. The rest come later on, and so we do not have any connection with them. The people of Bharat have forgotten they belong to the original eternal deity religion, but that too is part of the drama, and it has been created in that way. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says, Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, you have to do the business of studying and teaching others on the basis of Srimad. Remain firm on the destiny of the drama. Do not worry about anything. Second point, at the end, no one but the Father has to be remembered. Therefore, practice forgetting even the body. You have to become bodiless. Blessing. May you become a complete Vaishnav and a successful tapasvi who doesn't touch anything bad with your mind or intellect. Explanation: those with the personality and royalty of purity cannot touch anything bad with their minds or intellect. Just as in Brahman life, any physical attraction or physically touching is impurity. In the same way, allowing your mind or intellect to be attracted or touched by any vice, even in thought, is impurity. So do not touch anything bad, even with your thoughts. This indicates a complete Vaishnav and a successful tapasvi. Slogan: finish the problems of the mind and make your present and future bright. Om Shanti